Welcome to The Point of View. This is your favorite current affairs show here on ChannelOne television. On The Point of View, we get the right guests, we ask them relevant questions on issues that matter to you. We have a big fish tonight to speak to us on a very important topic. Transportation is the lifeblood of any economy. The Minister for Transportation and MP for Saboba has agreed to speak to us at a very busy time. Christmas is here, lots of vehicles, lots of conversation around mobility. What has he done in the first 10 months since he took office, and what is the plan for the next 3 years of the Mahama government? We'll be back with him. Stay with us. Welcome back. So tonight my guest is the Honorable Joseph Bukari Nikpe, who's the MP for Saboba and also Minister for Transportation. Thank you for inviting us into your office. Last time you were in my office, now I'm in your office.
Thank you, Bernard. We are happy to host you here. We are in a sector that embraces everybody. And coming here, you did through transport. Coming to your office, I also come through transport. That is what it means to be in the Ministry of Transport.
Wonderful. You've been in the news a lot. Last week, Parliament approved the appropriation, and one of the big items was your ministry's appropriation, which I'm told is lower than what was for the year before. That's one. Then you also passed the Road Traffic Amendment Bill, a very controversial bill which we will talk about. But the most immediate issue has been, because of Christmas, there's been a lot of traffic in town. And I think last week or two, you announced some intervention. Can you, let's start from there. What was the intervention aimed to do, and is it working since you announced it?
Thank you, Bernard. And let me say that God has been gracious to us, giving us the strength and energy to be able to, on daily basis, work as we also do so to get the Ghanaian people the needed services that they want from us. And again, God has been good in giving our President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the vision and wisdom that he guides us on daily basis on our activities. We are so grateful, and we believe that with this kind of guidance and then directives, we will be able to improve upon the transport sector. That you rightly said, if the transport sector is functioning efficiently and effectively, it is that will propel the economy to do well. And so working the transport sector tells you that, look, you have to put in your best to be able to have the kind of mobility that will oil or grease our country's economy. Now, the year had been a bit difficult, being the first year. Not difficult in terms of how to execute your duties, but in terms of how to get the Ghanaian people appreciate what on daily basis we are supposed to do to support government efforts. The ministry's budget was approved by Parliament, and it is what we presented to the Minister for Finance, and we believe that will be able to see us manage or run the ministry. Again, you talked of the emergency buses we organized to support our commuters after work. It has come to our notice that most of our drivers will want to collect unapproved fares. And because of that, they will not stay in the terminals or the lorry stations to pick passengers. They will go along the routes, and under that kind of framework, they are not under any authority any longer. And they charge unapproved fees and making it difficult for the commuters, which we felt it was not proper. A conversation with the GPRTU, we decided to put a task force that is currently working to ensure that they will take inventory of all such drivers who are refusing to stay at their stations or terminals to help our commuters get home safely. And we realized that they were doing so and creating a kind of shortage of vehicles. So whatever they said, the passengers obliged. So we decided to do an interim measure of mopping up some buses, both Metro Mass Transit Limited, Intra-city, STC, and now talking to other private people who have vehicles to join, such that when they return from their long routes activities, they will have some free space for the vehicle to stay before the following day's activity. We get such vehicles on the roads to the stations, and then they will support our commuters. So we're able to do that with 4 main corridors, which I must say that it is helping. But you understand the period. This is the festive period that everybody is moving.
So these are not new buses. They
are not
buses
new buses.
You are mobilizing
just an
to
arrangement we made with the STC, the Metro Mass Transit Limited, to be able, when they return, like say, if you have a trip for Kumasi and you return and the next trip is tomorrow, we bring you out to serve the people. So it was that kind of mopping up buses.
So how many were you able to get per route?
We initially announced 8, but some days we do 10, 11, and 12. It depends on the availability of the buses at a particular time. But always, we have never operated below the 8.
So these buses are not necessarily branded. They are just state support buses that you release on the route.
Yes. If it is a metro vehicle that is already branded, it is used in that capacity. If it is STC that is branded, it is used in that capacity. But they are not brand new vehicles that is ordered in for this kind of purpose. We are just doing internal arrangement to be able to serve our people.
So what rate do they charge?
The same approved rates for all the other stations and terminals.
And how long is it going to run for?
We are intending to early next year, and we evaluate it and see, do an evaluation of it and see the impact and then the way forward.
That's interesting, because already the 2 companies you mentioned themselves will say they need their own buses. I know STC need more buses generally. I'm not sure of Metro Mass as well. So even with this temporary arrangement, what is the plan for retooling STC itself?
Thank you, Bernard. It is a headache to us in the ministry, and also I want to thank the President for his concern. Just last week, we were able to get the Ghana Commercial Bank, and then the President himself sat in the meeting with the STC management for us to see how we will get them to support STC to acquire almost 300 buses.
Wonderful.
We are on course, and I'm very certain very soon STC will begin to receive new fleet that is supported by the Ghana Commercial
So this will be buses they purchase?
They will purchase, and then the Ghana Commercial Bank will do all the arrangements to support us have more buses. So if they are able to bring in the first phase between 250 to 300 buses, it will be a yearly activity that at every time we are going to bring in over 150 buses to support their operations. Same arrangement is being made for Metro Mass Transit Limited, so that the buses will be supplied in phases. Every year we will renew their fleet. And
so this will be new buses brought? New
buses.
Without jinxing it, are you able to give me a period when you expect the first few to come? We are in December. Can we say March or first quarter? Will we have buses by end of first quarter?
God willing, we should have buses by end of first quarter for all the 2 states companies.
Because the STC themselves have been talking, and I've heard the Deputy CEO say that the place they met has many challenges, and they even spoke about the fact that it's almost difficult to get any bank to support them. So was it the President's personal intervention that sort of convinced GCB to agree to support them to get these buses?
Before the President would have agreed to talk to any bank, there were some inner arrangement we have to do. Now put them on their own tools to see how they can be able to manage what they have. And we have seen improvement in their daily mobilization of funds or their activities. The little buses they have, they are beginning to make profit. That is clear indication to us that should we do any arrangement for them, they will be able to pay for it. And with the bank, the Ghana Commercial Bank arrangement, all necessary payments will be automated. And if Bernard is buying a ticket, say 100 Ghana cedis, the percentage that will go to Ghana Commercial Bank, direct Ghana Commercial Bank. Whilst we are also working to block all the loopholes. A lot of the buses will come with a kind of technology in them that you can monitor at all times what a particular bus is doing, how many people are in the bus, and it will be automated such that you can do cash, not cash payment, automatic or electronic payments. If you have a card, you have Momo, all those payments will be encouraged, so that it will not be the business of a collector having a bag hang in front of him, and at all times nobody knows how the charges are being collected. And so it came with an improved performance. That is why the bank, having done a due diligence on the activities we presented to them, is willing to give support for us to acquire
Minister,
more
so
buses.
thank you for this. STC is generally intercity, and there's Metro Mass also is intercity. The original problem you are trying to solve with the interim service is more intra, where you're looking Amasaman to Accra, or you're looking at Denta Dodowa to Accra, and also Kasua and Tema. What is the plan for that type of thing? Because your intervention is temporary. And I'm looking at two in one question. Question two, there's also BRT, which originally was to solve that type of problem. But we understand now it's not under your ministry. So can you speak about intra-city transport and then
clearly,
BRT?
To deal with intra-city activities, that solely is between the Metro Mass and the Ayalolo.
Okay.
That is supposed to mop up our passengers and be able to get them to wherever they want to go safely. But over the years, Metro Mass and Ayalolo have not seen any renewal of their fleets. So they are operating under capacity. That is why we have to bring in STC to help. And even with this arrangement I've made, Ayalolo is also contributing. They joined all of a sudden to also support. I had a discussion with the Minister for Local Government where Ayalolo now sits. And they are also having plans. I'm not here to announce what plans they have to renew their fleet. We believe that if we're able to organize more buses for STC, for Metro Mass and Ayalolo, they'll be able to serve the Ghanaian people, especially having within the inner cities, such that is where the trouble is. More people travel within than the long haul distances. And so if we renew Metro Mass, if we renew STC, their fleets, and then the Ayalolo is also given same attention, in a long way we'll be able to service our people.
So is your colleague minister telling you that he's revamping Ayalolo?
Definitely. That is the conversation I had with him when we had this issue of so many passengers stranded along the streets within these festive periods. And one of the areas we will be visiting together is the Tudu branch of the Ayalolo. A portion of it is the place we want to open these 24-hour services for DVLA, because we want to create all the terminals to have DVLA officers, so that even if you are a driver at any terminal or any lorry station, you can quickly renew your car documentations, and easy as we go. So we'll be visiting there together, and that is where we had this discussion as to how we will all retool our companies to let them serve the people.
Mobility is directly under your ministry. The biggest challenge we hear from our listeners and viewers, at least in the past 2 weeks, Accra, Kumasi, has been traffic. Is this your responsibility to ease traffic in town? There's been so much traffic on the motorway this weekend, traffic at East Legon, Kumasi, people complain of traffic. Is it something you can do anything about within this next few days?
We can do something, and we will do something. It has to start with us, the discipline that we have to attach to our daily activities. If you are a driver having a vehicle that is not strong enough to speed at a certain rate and create space, you use the outer lane. If you are a trotro driver and you go and park at the middle of the road to pick passengers, definitely you create some delays. And we as a people will have to begin to look at the re-engineering of our routes. Most of these routes have been in existence for God knows when. And it is time that we re-engineer them. And like I said the other time, we are lucky that the current Minister for Roads and Highways has in-depth knowledge in route construction. And with his experience, he will be able to design and construct routes that will be able to accommodate more of the traffic. And that is where big push comes in. If all this, especially Kumasi, if the express road is finished, it is going to ease congestion. That is why His Excellency President Mahama feels that those busy routes should be given attention and not necessarily building the road to Kumasi, by opening up the country, opening up the capital, such that the vehicles can move. We are also, as a ministry, looking at other interventions that will ease up congestion from the road, take traffic from the road to, say, the coast, marine and inland water services. Also look at the rail sector. Those are the areas, and also look at aviation. That is where we feel that we should open up more airports. People who want to have a fast travel will be able to go by air. Those who want to go by the coast, they will do so. Currently, I'm happy as a minister to say that we have had an investor who has brought in 2 ships, bigger vessels that will soon start operations from the coast through to Nigeria. He will now be taking passengers and cargo from Ghana through Togo, Benin to Nigeria. And we believe that that will ease the congestion on the Volta route through to Benin. And he will start.
So this is for both passenger and cargo?
Passenger and cargo. So
is it Tema or Takrady or Accra?
So it is going to take from Accra through Lomé, through Cotonou, and then finally
by sea.
By sea.
Goods and human beings.
Goods and human beings. If you have your vehicle, you wouldn't want to spend any time on the roads with high traffic.
When is this starting?
By February, he should start operations because he's far gone.
Let me just wrap up on the traffic. We are told there are 3 E's: education, engineering, and enforcement. When you talk about your road minister colleague, clearly you are talking about engineering. There seems to be a challenge with enforcement. People feel like a lot of the traffic is caused by indiscipline. Let me give an example. Tiptoe lane in Kroma Circle. You are driving from Adabraka and you are going on Achimota Road. 3 lane becomes 1 lane because trotro drivers have taken 2. MTTD are wearing white. They are just walking there, greeting the hands of, basically just shaking the driver's hands. Is this within your remit or is this within the Interior Ministry? If there's no enforcement of road traffic regulations and it limits mobility, should we blame you or blame Muntaka, the Interior Minister?
Bernard, I don't think that we should be looking for a particular ministry or agency to blame. We as a people will have to collectively agree that we have a challenge and see how we can fix it. Yes, my responsibility is the road sector services, the craft on the road. But as to enforcement of our laws, it lies in the domain of the Ministry of Interior. And the construction of those roads too lies in the domain of the Ministry of Roads and Highways. But I'm responsible of the crafts on the road that is being used, the services on the road. Now, I had a conversation with the Minister for Local Government again, and I've transmitted a letter through him to the regional ministers and MMDCs. It's also their responsibility to support us at all districts to ensure that our drivers remain committed and disciplined and law-abiding drivers. And they have to get up. And I want to take this opportunity to single out the Kumasi Mayor for praise. He has started doing things that he was on some of the drivers who were refusing to charge their proof first, and he was out there. And I think that it is a good activity that he was doing, even though some people will blame him. But as a chief executive of the Metropolitan Assembly, your people matter, and that the Minister for Local Government has promised to communicate same to the MMDCs to also support the enforcement of all the laws that govern the road sector. And again, we had a conversation with the Greater Accra Regional Commander to get him put more of his men on the roads to ensure that they enforce whatever laws that we have. I agree with you. It's not about the laws we have. It's about how we enforce our laws to let them become more applicable for the people and serving the people. And that is where the Interior Ministry comes in. And I want to urge that sometimes the pressures on them is too much, considering the number of officers they have that will be able to get on our roads and enforce our laws. However, no matter the number, I want to encourage them to do more and enforce our laws.
Let me end the road segment with road crashes. A total of 9,626 road crashes were reported from January to August this year, involving 16,348 vehicles of all categories. And we are told there were 12,894 casualties and fatalities in excess of, actually 1,937 fatalities, 12,000 casualties, and 10,000 injuries. So a lot of people are getting hurt and dying on our roads. Why? It is getting worse, actually. When you look at the numbers, it's getting worse. It's not getting better. Why?
Indiscipline. Indiscipline. Then let me even add, Bernard, the more of the casualties are between the ages of 5 and 29 years. And that is the period of being productive to serve your nation. So if you lose people at that age, or if people get injured and then they are disabled at that age, then they become a burden to the society. And so we will have to look at how we discipline ourselves, everybody inclusive. How do we come out of our homes and on our roads? Do we do things we do on the roads in our rooms that will create congestion in the rooms? Or do we behave nice at our homes, and when we get to the road, we want to now behave in a way that will cause trouble? And back to the point, we have to support the police to be able to enforce that if I am indisciplined on the road, the police will pick me. And that is why I am happy that very soon, traffic tech will set in. And with the amendment of the road traffic bill, if we are able to implement it, we'll be able to bring discipline to the people. Because it will be easy now to know that, oh, this vehicle belongs to Joseph Bukari. That vehicle, that is Bernard Avile. With technology, we should be able within some few minutes know whose vehicle is causing this trouble. And the police will be able to, if you go to the center, you will see what we are doing there to be able to enforce through technology.
You brought the road traffic law. December 10, you passed the road traffic amendment bill, which legalizes commercial operation of motorcycles, tricycles, and quadricycles under what you call stricter safety regulations. Many people think this is a terrible idea. Let me give you an example. A senior lecturer at KNUST, Dr. Solomon Foko Kwarteng, says Ghana is not ready for commercial Okada operations. Speaking on Otek FM's Nyansapo show, he warned that allowing Okada riders to operate commercially will increase accidents and crime rates. He emphasized that the country lacks preparedness for the legislation, citing concerns over safety and security implications. He believes the move could exacerbate existing challenges, urging caution.
I take the part of urging caution. But to say that Ghana is not ready for the motorcycle, tricycles, and quadricycles, we are not different from people from Rwanda. We are not different from people from India. We are not different from any other part of the world that is implementing these, allowing motorcycles and tricycles for commercial purposes. We are all human beings. The caution aspect, yes. But let me say that either two, we didn't have any regulations or any legal framework to deal with such issues. And the people were operating. They are operating because of the modern challenges we have. But I come from a rural area. Sometimes some communities, a whole week, no vehicle passes there. The only thing you will see is the motorcycle or the tricycle. And they are not allowed to do commercial business. So it is somebody passing down and meet you on the way and give you a lift. But if it is commercialized, those rural areas, people will now buy motorbikes and take it as a job. Get to the road and they'll be able to pick you to wherever you want to go. Because there's legal framework now, the police will be able to determine that, okay, you have violated these laws and we will use this law to punish you. It will not be like free for all and there's no anything to guide anybody. I always say that, look, when you get to any traffic light point, when the light is red, they won't stop. Because that's where police can easily come and then pull out your key and then arrest you. So in trying to dodge traffic, then another person crosses and then there's accident. We also want to use this opportunity to tell the Okada riders, they've given me this assurance. Some of them will become ambassadors in talking to their colleagues. It is just the behavior change. Let's change our mind. Let's be more professional and careful when we are using the roads. It is not something scientific and logic for other citizens to be able to use motorcycles to do commercial businesses with low rate accident levels.
We'll take a break.
We can do that.
We'll come back to discuss more of this. My guest is the Honorable Minister for Transportation, Joseph Bukari Nikpe. We're discussing a number of issues: traffic, mobility, the controversial road traffic amendment, and other modes of transportation. This is The Point of View. Stay with us. Welcome back. So tonight on The Point of View, we're speaking to Minister for Transport and MP for Saboba, the Honorable Joseph Bukari Nikpe. He was telling us that he got to town today, first driving and then taking an aircraft and then coming into Accra from his constituency. There's a big controversy around the law that legalizes commercial use of motorbikes. You did say that in rural communities like where you are from, that may be the only mode of transport for the last mile. Some are wondering why you don't differentiate between, because we know, for example, that in Tamale, in other parts of the country, people ride motorbikes and it doesn't cause any problem. I think the challenge with commercial motorbikes and sometimes tricycles is the urban areas. Accra, Kumasi, there's already congestion. They don't obey traffic regulation. And it adds to the urban confusion. So why didn't you consider differentiating the areas? So you can say in rural communities where Okada is the main means of transport, it is legalized. But in urban areas where there are other forms of transportation, maybe there was a different approach to use. Why did you legalize it for everybody?
Bernard, the challenge of transportation is a holistic matter affecting all parts of Ghana. We just talked of us doing some putting in some measures to be able to help our commuters after close of work or in the morning to get to work. People are stranded everywhere looking for means of transport. This is Fast Link, the last mile journey. The issue of accidents to the motorcycles was because there was no legal framework to regulate the activity. And so they were engaging in illegality. And so they had to do it in a fast manner.
But if we can't stop people from engaging in an illegality by way of enforcement, how can you enforce when you legalize? Because the simple one to enforce.
The need aspect of it should be looked at. That even the passenger who volunteered to sit behind a motorbike would have been standing at the roadside for God knows how many hours. And so if there's any least opportunity to get transport, means of transport to move, the person will want to get to another point to do business. What we have to do is the caution aspect of enforcing our laws and ensure that anybody who operates within the transport industry will be able to do so regarding or respecting.
You mentioned Rwanda. What I've never been to Rwanda, but what I've been told is that there are many things that people in Rwanda do. Number one, they are more organized society than us. Rwanda is cleaner. People obey traffic rules. The people riding the motorbikes are well uniformed. You don't see people riding without helmets. You don't see them wearing t-shirt and chalewote riding motorbike. So it's a well-regulated space. People obey the law. What work have you put in place to ensure that now that you have legalized it, the way people behave is going to fit?
So with the bill, we have made provisions in it to set standards for each vehicle concerning safety, how your seat belts will conform with the make of the vehicle, the use of helmet, the use of fire extinguishers, the use of protective gear when you are on a motorbike. It spells out all the processes or what you should have. And not just that everybody who has a motorbike is going to engage in commercial work. You have to go through registration with the DVLA, and you'll be put into proper training and a prescribed protective gear for security of you, the rider, and the passenger. So it provides for all those improved security features, all aimed at having safety on our roads. But either two, you could not enforce somebody wearing a protective gear, a required one, the helmet, and vehicles. You enter vehicles, no any seat belts, no any better sitting arrangements, and the drivers do not even belong to any union, and they do things the way they want. With this one, you have to belong to a union. The unions will be given proper training. Next year is going to be fireworks with we and then the unions, and we want to ask for their cooperation.
So with all the problems you are having with GPRTU and all this, you are going to create more unions. You aren't creating more Allah for yourself. You already have the daily headache of unions in the driving of vehicles with all these problems.
Unions in the aspect of the new creation we have added. The motorbikes and tricycles and quadricycles will need to belong to unions. But for vehicles, existing vehicles, they already have unions. It's just that we have to give them some kind of support to be able to help us implement the laws we have agreed with them, or the regulations that we have agreed to operate under. So it is not necessarily coming to the vehicle transport sector alone to add unions. But you know, the motor cycle, they will have their unions, and we want to do them on regional basis, or even sometimes at the district level, so that they can help us bring in this place.
Lastly, in countries that this is legalized, the infrastructure anticipates their existence. So for example, when I go to Togo, when you go to every traffic light, there's the traffic light for a car and the traffic light for a motorbike. Some of the roads, the way they mark it, is very clear that they anticipate motorbikes are also legal entities that must ride. In Ghana, you don't see any motorbike level traffic light. So what infrastructure preparation has been put in place? Number one. Number two, now that you've passed the law, will there be a training of Okada riders before they start carrying passengers? Or right now, anybody riding a motorbike can simply say is qualified, therefore is picking point and collecting money?
Bernard, the transport sector needs improvements on a daily basis. Having dedicated traffic signs for motor riders, yes, we do not have. But now we have legalized their operations. So going into future, we are going to see some of the changes, the kind of traffic lights we are now going to be installing at all points. You remember that Togo is not quite different from us. We are the same people.
They are more disciplined.
They are more disciplined.
When I went there, I didn't see people riding motorbike without helmet. In Ghana, I see plenty.
It's about enforcing laws and being disciplined yourself. And this is where I am saying that we have to get into calling on this ministry, myself, my colleagues, the Minister for Local Government, the Minister for Interior, and the Minister for Roads and Highways. A coordinated effort in ensuring discipline on our roads. And we have to do this by withdrawing some season or taking off some drivers their license. We have the capacity to do that. Bringing in more discipline. If you are a motor rider, you are not just a commercial rider. You are a private rider. If you want to be a commercial rider, you have to be registered, or your license should be for commercial purposes by DVLA. And DVLA will do so by giving you some training. And that is why we are opening more offices and creating space to train all the new riders who will take advantage of this law. So it is not just that every rider who has a motorbike is going to engage in commercial business. You have to be registered with the DVLA to do commercial work with your motorbike, and trained and given the standards that you will need to have in terms of safety and how you are going to behave on the roads.
Let's talk about the new DVLA intentions to re-register cars, new car numbers, saying they want to link Ghana card to your car number and all of this. This is also under your ministry. Number one, what are they trying to do? Number two, what problem is it going to solve?
We have passed the bill and the regulations is laid in Parliament, waiting the 21 days approval. This will give effect for us to now come in with the new Ghana smart number plates. Now, we have to conform to international standards, what happens in the US, in the UK, and other well-organized transport industry. Today, you can just see vehicles in town that are not registered by DVLA. Even though they come in through unapproved routes, it is difficult to be able to determine at a go. And this also has effect on our revenue generation or collection, because the more vehicles try to come in with unapproved plates and they are using them, the more we lose revenue. We looked at all these things and we have come to a point that, look, why not digitize our number plates? Why not let them become personal to you? For instance, the old number plate, you will have at the far left of the plate or the top a spot for the renewal sticker. Then at the other right end, you have the Ghana flag and then the code GH. Then in the middle, you will have the place of registration. So if it is Greater Accra, you will have a GR. If it is Northern Region, NR. Then in the middle is the vehicle number. And at the end, you have the year of registration. Now, this has brought in a lot of problems for people who own vehicles and they want to trade them off. Oh, it was registered in 2020. So it is, meanwhile, the make will still be a strong vehicle. Now you will not have all those things. With the new smart number plate we are going to have, it is going to have a chip embedded in it. And that chip is registered in your name, in collaboration or in connection with the Ghana card. They'll be able to know at a glance with the use of technology to see that, oh, that's Bernard Avery's vehicle. Now, you will see that there will still be a space at the right corner or the left corner for the renewal, what do you call them, sticker. Then in the middle, you have the Ghana map in the middle of the plate. At the far end, you will have the Republic of Ghana put there. And the middle, you will still have the car number, area of registration, and a secret number DVLA will give to you. This one, DVLA will no more give our customers only plates. We assign the same to you. And we know that Bernard Avery took 100 of these same cards that will be embedded in the number plate. He, the right company, will be embossing on our vehicles. So at once we'll be able to trace any vehicle. The number becomes yours. If you buy a new vehicle, yours is to, if you don't want the old vehicle, you take the plate and then to your new vehicle, and the SIM will be corrected from the chassis number of the old plate that you were using. So let's take it this way. So every vehicle will be connected to a Ghana card, and every Ghana card is connected to a phone number. Yes. So if you see a car riding on the road, the car number can be scanned to tell you who owns the car. Who owns the car, yes. And his mobile money number. Yes. So what do you want to use that information for? To be able to identify who is causing what on our routes, who is behaving well on our route. But you know the car owner is not the driver. So if I own three Benz buses, so and my Benz bus driver is behaving on the road, who will be charged, me or the driver? You'll be able to tell me who is in the possession of your vehicle. So the owner has the liability for how the vehicle is driven. Yes. So if the driver misbehaves, is the Ghana card number and the mobile money number of the owner that you have. Yes. We'll use that to trace, and you'll be able to produce whoever might have used the vehicle. Just bring in discipline. So and to show how that will you use that to? Okay, are you going to implement some spot fine type of thing? Oh yes, and that is why we are embedding the same into the plates. I was talking of the traffic tech system, it's all linked to it. DVLA at a glance can stop you at a roadside scan to see whether you have valid documentation on your vehicle, whether you have renewed your papers, whether you are operating within the laws. And also the police, the MTTD will also be monitoring on the screen to see who is causing what crime. And at the screen, they can even be able to determine the owner of the vehicle.
In some advanced countries, when you drive into a particular zone, in London, if it's a congestion zone, in less than a minute after driving there, you receive a prompt on your phone that you are supposed to pay £8. If you say yes, you will pay it immediately. I'm asking that in relation to fines and also using tolls.
We've started sending such notices to people. Some people will tell you they've sent some notice that, look, you were over speeding, and you see an alert on your phone.
Which includes where you should pay.
No. For now, we are just testing
the system.
The system to see how effective it will be when we are implementing the new law.
When will this take effect?
It was the LR was laid on the 10th of this month. I think we've made about 8 days. When we resume, the rest of the days will be...
Because you know that people register vehicles a lot in January.
Yes.
So are you aiming that you will use the January registration?
It depends on when Parliament reconvenes. The 21 days will set in. When the President gives his approval to it, then we implement it immediately.
Will this be the same way you collect the tolls, or is it a different approach? Because your colleague, Minister for Roads, has also been saying that he's not going to do queuing and collecting tickets for road tolls. Is that a discussion you're having? And what do you know about the new tolling system?
We are all looking at how to improve upon services and reduce time spent on our roads. And that can also create a lot of traffic, because when we start tolling our roads, people will now have to, somebody will have to tear out a ticket for you. You have to pay the money. If you have a card or a system, you get there, you place it, or even you put a sticker on your vehicle, the machine scans the vehicle as it approaches. It is one of the ways to improve. Ours will be on the same movement to ensure that we use technology to collect all fines that we are supposed to collect from you, and Traffic Tech is designed to take care of that.
I hope the DVLA is educating the public about what you are telling me, because
they've done enough publicity within these days, going from region to region and doing it. I'm aware, and
so as soon as the law is passed, this will be implemented
immediately.
We're still talking to the Minister for Transportation. The big challenge is that we spend a lot of time talking about roads, and this interview is also guilty of that. Transportation is multimodal. We have the third largest man-made lake in the world by surface area in Ghana, and yet we have so many of our logistics still being conveyed by road, whether it's food, whether it's clothes. How come the Volta Lake is so underutilized for cargo when it connects Tema, Ada, all the way through Buipe? It should be the most used mode of transportation.
Bernard, we are getting there gradually. If you look at the kind of integrated or multimodal transport system we want to create, you would have seen in 2015 how His Excellency President Mama got a loan facility for the construction of the Tema-Mpakadan or the Tema-Kusombo rail line. It was to begin the processes of an integrated transport travel. Already you know that the Volta Lake Transport Company is having some vessels or some barges that they do from Akusombo to Bupe. Then from there, other vehicles will also take passengers. Now the Tema-Mpakadan is operational. All we are left is a terminal at Esikuma, because there was this issue of VRA saying that they don't want any major activity around the dump. So we have to now move it a bit ahead to Esikuma, which is far from the dam. And when that terminal is constructed and the rail is now operating, whatever cargo that will come from our ports or whatever cargo you will have, you just drive to the station in Tema, put it there, it gets to Esikuma. There's a terminal there that will connect to the barges that will take to Bupe. So even countries like Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, they can terminate at Bupe and pick their cargo instead of coming to Accra. It is believed that when we are able to implement this fully, it will also reduce.
So have you identified a site at Esikuma, number one? Number two, do you have any expression of interest in supporting government to build any terminal, or is it a government-owned terminal?
There's a private Ghanaian who is far advanced in constructing the terminal at Esikuma. I'm built to visit them any moment from now. And I must say that a week ago, he was in this office. We had a lot of discussion. He started a lot of preparatory works. And
so site is identified?
Site is
private
identified.
Partner is
private partner.
But will this be owned by government or jointly operated?
It is a PPP.
So when this works, cargo moves from Tema to Esikuma by rail.
Yes.
Then it goes on the
lake
at Esikuma all the way through to the north.
Yes.
Do you have any timeline in mind? Can this be done in this term of Mohammed's government?
Very well, very well.
You are sure?
Yes, yes. It is the private sector who we are looking at how he will scale up his work. But looking at his activities, he is very determined.
Because even if the terminal is built, you need ships or vessels.
Yeah, more of the barges, and the Volta Lake Transport is doing everything to get in more buses. Not badges to augment their work. What they have is a bit old, but I know.
But why don't you get the Burkinabes and the Malians to jointly finance this? Because eventually they will benefit, right? If you look at, of course, some goods will be sent to the north, but if you look at the number of articulated trucks on our roads, you can easily see that a lot of them are conveying goods to Burkina Faso.
You know, as a Ghanaian, I will always pray that our Ghanaians will take advantage of whatever business opportunities we have for them before we are looking for outsiders.
We are running after now, Africa Free Trade. We have the Trans-West Africa Highway from Lagos to Abidjan. So clearly, if you do a transport system that facilitates movement, it's for all the sub-regions.
Definitely, but the Ghanaians should be of priority to us and others who come second. I am not saying this that we are against anybody coming to participate in any of our transport sector activities. No. It is just because you mentioned if we could get the Burkinabes.
I'm asking this because the Bankra Inland Port, since I was in JSS, Social Studies, they've been talking about Bankra Inland Port. As of today, they are still legislating over who's supposed to pay something. I was in JSS in 94 to 95, and you are still here talking about. So it means you I'm not sure you can finish. So maybe you need to bring money from somewhere to help you.
There are a lot of Ghanaians who have money. They only need the approach. They only need the kind of opportunities that you'll be able to communicate to them clearly. I am not saying that any other person in the transport sector is excluded. I just mentioned to you that there's a private sector person who wants to do from Tema to Lagos. It's from Burkina Faso. We are not limiting it to only Ghanaians.
Oh, this is the water transport.
The water transport on the sea, the coastal water transport. But I'm encouraging Ghanaians that look, this is a viable venture. This is an industry that we will need Ghanaians to be actively involved in.
All right,
and make it from that sector.
We'll come back and wrap up. This is the point of view tonight. It's all about transportation. In the hot seat is the MP for Saboba, Joseph Bukari Nikpe. It's answering our questions, giddy giddy. We'll be right back. Don't go away. This is still the point of view tonight. It's all about transportation, mobility, multimodal transport. We've spoken about road transport, discussed some water transportation, inland transport, and we haven't touched on air at all. I think in the previous government, aviation was a whole industry, a whole ministry. It's no longer the case. I've heard people say air transport is the safest. And that one of the ways of reducing road crashes is to make air transport more available and more affordable. In fact, without air transport, you wouldn't be here this morning because you had to leave Tamale and come in. So what's your vision for air transport and how can we make it more accessible to more people?
Bernard, like you rightly talked about this ministry, we are responsible for 4 modes of transport. That has to do with aviation, the maritime, the road transport services, and the rail development. Now, all these ministries or these agencies are put together by His Excellency President Mahama with the vision that they carry the same goal or they have the same objective: transportation, means of carrying people to wherever they want to go. And there should be stages of transportation. Some will want to go by air in a fast manner, in a quick manner, to be able to solve their problems. Others who want to go by rail when it is available, they will be able to do so in a fast manner, in a safe manner, and in a quick manner. Others who want to do by road, they will do so because of the proximity to where they are going. Maybe if you are not going a very long distance, the best mode of transport will be the road transport services. And then the coastal and inland transport services. So it depends on your location and where you want to go. With the air transport, as a country, we have developed to a point where we are the envy of our colleagues when it comes to this sub-region. We have done a lot of improvements. But it will interest you to know that within the sub-region here, we now have what we call advanced passenger information and passenger name record. So before you pay for a ticket, our security agencies already know who is entering this country. Improve security, improve protection, and improve services. And if you watch these days, you will see a lot of activities at Kotoka International Airport because of just these two. You know, about 3 months ago or 4 months ago, President Mahama commissioned those systems, and they have brought a lot of improvement to us. We are looking at becoming the hub to aviation in West Africa. We cannot get to this point just by mouth. We have to improve upon our facilities. And by far, in the West Africa region, we are having the best services and airport facilities. The only thing we need to do now is how to own our own air carrier, national air carrier, that will fly the flag of Ghana, which is being worked on seriously by this government. His Excellency, the President, is much interested in it, and at all points, he is giving his direction and advice with clear vision of us establishing a national airline within this particular term of ease. And again, we are also looking internally how to now retool and expand our airports. We only have Accra, Kumasi, Kumasi, Accra, Accra, Tamale, Tamale, Accra. Once in a while, Accra, Sunyani. Our domestic airports are not able to service other airports apart from Accra alone. If you watch this year's budget, we have in it how to expand the Wa airport and retool it, how to expand the Sunyani airport, retool it, and again, how to bring more improvement to the whole facility, make it a repair and maintenance airport that will service our aircraft. So that when we're able to improve upon the domestic connectivity, it will bring about the reliance on the air transport. So that if I am moving from Tamale to Kumasi, I don't need to come to Accra before I go to Kumasi. And maybe I'll not need to use a vehicle that will spend 6 hours on the road.
So what specific thing are you doing concerning Wa and Sunyani? Is it that you have gotten money to expand the airport? Are you just suggesting it? Because we all know that we need more airports. So what's the specific thing you are doing?
So it has to do with our fees and charges that we are going to be collecting from our passengers, from our airlines, that we will leverage on that to get a partnership to be able to expand the runway, to accommodate some medium-sized aircraft, to be able to expand the terminals, and then the security features that we need to put in the airport to screen people properly or to do the necessary scanning properly at the airport. Those are the areas we are going to handle. And again, Kotoka will soon be given a lot of expansion to, because if you watch over the years, we have had our sewage treatment system that has been contracted for 25 years ago. You should know that it is getting full and we need to change it. When we're able to improve upon it, it will help serve our passengers or people who visit our airports. Again, we are looking at constructing a new car park at Kotoka. At peak hours,
there's so much traffic.
I go there to support or to help how to direct or to take tickets to drivers in their car.
How Kotoka was built without underground parking, I will never understand. Especially a new one, an expanded Kotoka airport, we still just have one main floor of parking. Unbelievable. Every serious airport has at least 5 floors of parking.
Kotoka receives attention. Maybe people don't agree with me anytime President Mahama is president.
So he's going to do new car parks for us?
Definitely. We are going to have a new car park. it was a plan that was from terminal to car park and other facilities. For instance, Bernard, I will maybe invite you to go to the domestic terminal 2 that serves only the domestic. Go and see how we are rehabilitating it, furnishing it to be able to take a portion of it for international travels to decongest terminal 3. And we are looking at building a connecting concourse
between the old and new,
so that passengers will not leave the airport and come through another.
So once you're in the airport, you can get
you walk
long
through
overdue. There's enough space there.
Yes.
Not runabout.
And you will see a totally rehabilitated or changed.
Has it started, or you are thinking of doing it?
It has started. We are far advanced in ensuring that we get it done.
I want to thank the Minister for the Minister for Transport and MP for Saboba, the Honorable Joseph Bukari Nikpe. Thank you for speaking to us, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.